This video chart presentation of XSNX Inc. XSNX is a OTCQB listed company trading under ticker XSNX. This chart's popping up on the watch list because of making a double bottom. Several dips over the last 5-6 weeks. Down in that area is 008, but realistically a little bit stronger support level, just a little bit higher. Volume picked up on Friday. Stock closed up 12%, 1.1 million shares traded. And just now pushing back through the 50-day moving average. So I want to watch and see if it's going to hold above that 50-day and potentially challenge some recent highs from January. It's a nice look to the MACD. Granted, it's a short period of time, only about 6-7 weeks, but it is starting to uptrend. See the histogram bars just pop back through zero, saying a bullish cross happened, the 12 passing through the 26 EMA. It's a similar look to the PPO moving upward. The ADX is pretty neutral, only registering a 22. That's what's still considered being in a trading pattern below 30. And the positive and negative DI is not too far away from each other right there, so we're not getting a whole lot from the ADX. With the buying pressure that's come in the last few days, the MFI7's really made a pretty sharp move. It's a positive sign that it's breaking through 50, but I'd also be cautious with it pulling too far away from the 14 and 21, because like right through here, when it gets too great of a distance, it will want to pull back. So while it's not that great of a concern at this point, because the separation just isn't that large, it's something to keep in mind going forward. Right now I am seeing a shift in the MFIs, where all three components are starting to move upward, and that's a bullish sign. Accumulation distribution certainly had a pretty sharp fall in January. Appears that there was a fair amount of selling going on, but looks like that's leveling off now. AD's trying to find a base. Shaking money flow going right along with it. Sharp fall, but now just the slightest sense of starting to move back upward. Very early on, but showing some buying pressure. CCI doesn't get much more neutral than that. Just a skosh below zero. Tells me the price per share is trading right around its 20-day mean. Full stow, it's a gauge of momentum. It's making a pretty sharp move. Breaking through 50 is a key indication. Generally regarded as a breaking point between bullishness and bearishness related to momentum. In the tricks, like the MACD, it's a gauge of trend, moving upward. Looks like a bullish cross is going to happen. Ultimately, look for an upward channel like that. And for the tricks to be truly bullish, I want to see it over top of that zero mark. RSI is also all three components that I use. Breaking through 50 now. Again, it's a bullish sign of momentum. Tends to track a little bit faster than the full stow does. And it's definitely given hints that some bullish momentum is coming into the play. Now, as I mentioned, I put a very bottom support down there at 008, but realistically, my eyes would be set more on this penny mark. Outside of this volatile day here a couple weeks ago, stock hasn't closed below that penny mark. If I see a volume surge and this breaks back down through a penny, I'd become a little skeptical that it's even going to hold that 008 mark. So I'd really be focused on the penny level. The stock pulls back from its current price around 1.4 cents. As I mentioned, the stock price pushed through the 50-day moving average. That is definitely a key point that I'll be looking for to hold going forward, because I want to see this 50-day start to rotate, start moving upward towards the 200-day. And it's also notable in tracking this back over about 5, 6, 7 months. You see the stock's had a very difficult time holding above that 50-day moving average, so it's certainly something I have my eyes on going forward to see if this chart's going to take on a more bullish trend. Now from the resistance side of things, I have to look right there just below 2 cents. As far as making this double bottom pattern, that was the level of resistance it met last time coming off this penny mark, and I suspect that's going to be an area of resistance again if this upward pressure continues. Now beyond that, I always look at the moving averages. There's the 200-day up around 2.5 cents. That definitely correlates with some old support and resistance points, so I'd identify that as the next key level of resistance, with above that right up around 3.2 cents. And as I mentioned a lot of times, I'm not trying to discuss that as a target point, just trying to identify some different areas of resistance. And even making a move from where it is at 1.4 up to 1.9 is a pretty nice percentage gain. But in the broad perspective of the chart, if it moves through that, starts to make some higher highs, and comes off this double bottom, then I definitely put my crosshairs on these next resistance points to see if XSNX is going to establish a longer term uptrend and identify this as a true bottom for the play. Those are the type of things that I'll be looking for in the XSNX chart. But as always, it's merely my interpretation. Thank you for watching, and trade smart.